was actually in Sweden.
Yeah.
So for a really long time, I couldn't even buy my own compendium for like 2 years.
Yeah, I had that problem when I moved to Germany as well.
Yeah, so I had to have people buy compendiums for me. And I felt really bad because I was like, I can't even buy the compendium for the game that I'm going to the tournament to cast for.
The truth is, Draskell had no problems whatsoever. He just enjoyed using other people's money.
God, you just make me sound like such a bad person. GG.
I'm making you sound crafty.
Crafty?
Yeah.
I wish I was crafty. I'm really not a smart person, Cat.
And that's why you're my co-caster.
There it is.
I think they saw that roll in. I don't. How much can you can see like like you can see something, right? Even though he smoked, you have vision of that area.
I think you can see the stone drop, but you
yeah,
can't.
The stone drop.
You can't see the actual roll, I think.
Yeah.
Some abilities have that animation or whatever that just doesn't care if you're smoked or not, that sometimes you can see it.
Yeah.
But I don't think that the roll itself is what is visible in this case.
So I'm not sure if they actually spotted that ward, the Sand King, or not.
I don't think so. If they saw it, someone would have probably bought a sentry already if they had the money. I guess everyone...
Nobody has the money.
Yeah, I was going to say, everyone in Execration actually spent their money.
Raging Potato pokes his head out, see what's up at this top lane. To read, there's 3 heroes here, so everyone's just going to chill out on their own bounty runes. A nice peaceful start to what is going to be, I'm sure, quite a tumultuous game number 2 between IG and Execration. With all this weird team fight, you know, you've got Ember Spirit versus Venomancer, you've got like Silencer on one side, but you also have this combination of the Disruptor and Darkseer combo, you know, the vacuum in, the static storm kinetic field combination. There's a lot of opportunity for big plays on both sides. Execration are actually going to find an early kill here onto Q. Q did not expect this duel lane. He just gets galed up, burrow struck, and there goes your first blood.
Well, I'm happy to say this is how they laned it. I felt like, on paper, this is probably the strongest pairings they could do. And I'm really curious to see how much XXS can get out of his lane. Could be a little bit of a struggle. Not even bothering to dispel the level 1 Ion Shell. Probably just doesn't care about how much damage it deals.
Nothing feels better than getting harassed.
Oh, there we go.
Get in the Sentry and eating with a shared tango that first Observer ward.
Oh yeah, OP
Value,
gets
baby.
it in the mid lane. That's the dream.
Yeah.
Or sorry, James, I guess got it.
James. He's really putting the number here on OP with the Glaives of Wisdom.
As he gets more levels, it'll get worse and worse. Roll's gonna miss.
Yeah, it's gonna miss. James does have the backup of Lumic. In fact, they're getting a lot of damage onto Bobaga. He might just be able to get a couple of right clicks in to finish him off. One. Where's the Glaives of Wisdom, homie? Glaives of Wisdom. All right, healing salves definitely allow Bobaga to live, especially since James doesn't want to miss out on this gigantic creep wave that is underneath the tower. Lumic will eventually catch up to Bobaga. Bobaga is going to go for the roll on out. Will be okay. Meanwhile, top lane, Raging Potato actually did get caught. I'm not sure how exactly he gets caught. Looks like just the range slow from burning is enough for them to be able to run down the Venomancer, because you only have Thunderstrike on Disruptor.
He did use the Gale as well, so it's not even... He must have been really far out of position in order, I think, to die like that.
Does not make much sense to me.
But either way, it's one of those games where I feel like IG are going to hit their stride really fast. You want to talk about something that's terrifying? Ion Shelled Ember Spirit.
Ooh, the lawnmower.
Yeah, that he will just light you up. There is not a whole heck of a lot some of these heroes can do about it. Like Veno, he'll probably die. If there's no Fate's Edict around, pretty much anyone's just gonna get turned into a pile of ashes real quick. And it looks like XXS, even despite having this really tough lane, he's managed to get level 3 before the 3-minute mark. He can make his way back down there as well. Top again, Raging Potato.
Q is going to try and get close enough for the kinetic field, but he does manage to throw out the Venomous Gale, well timed by Raging Potato. Throws the ward down, does see the heroes, gets the slow. It's perfect to protect himself. Are you much of a science lad, Draskell?
Much of a what fan?
A science lad.
Oh, a science lad.
Yeah.
I don't do much of my own science anymore. I kind of let people do it and then figure out their science afterwards.
I was going to ask you, what exactly kind of energy or whatever, what the hell is Ion Shell? What is Ion?
I don't actually know.
Me neither.
I have no idea what it's made out of. I'm going to say it's made out of karate, because that's what he does.
Karate.
Hand-to-face combat.
Nice.
It makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's got like a chi.
I mean, that fits with the Ember Spirit. He puts the power of karate on the Ember Spirit, and he's all fire and karate.
Bash.
That's what
Bash.
he's all about.
No bash. Yeah, it's the Darkseer pick for me. I personally love that hero because it always feels like you can do something on Darkseer. Some offlaners, you have like this poopy lane, and you're like, ugh, I'm just like lane counter or something. You're playing against some, you know how it is, Cap. Somebody picks Juggernaut or Lifestealer, and they think they're like the best player in the world because they have magic immune spells, and you're just sitting there going, I can't actually do anything. No matter how badly this guy plays a lane, I just cannot do anything.
Yeah.
But Darkseer, you can always do something.
Yeah, even in this situation, which is probably one of the poopiest lanes, as you said, for a Darkseer to deal with. You've got a Oracle, you can just Fortune's End off your Ion Shell. If you put a double down, you can use one spell to kill both. So instead, XSS is spending a lot of his time jungling, and is already level 4, encroaching upon level 5 even.
This is definitely what you want. As soon as OP hits that level 6 and 7, you get an Ion Shell, you TP to a lane, you kill anyone. Armor is not going to help. Even the Sven is susceptible, I think, to that kind of counter gank.
He just gave it a Bulbika. These are the combos I love with Ion Shell. And Darkseer gives it to a Spirit Breaker or an Earth Spirit, and they set up for a kill in another lane. But Bulbika isn't really seeing his opportunity with his buddy OP not being level 6 and not being in lane either. Kind of missed their timing window there.
I think it's a bit more difficult for Earth Spirit nowadays to really utilize the shell that much.
XXS. Oh boy. That would have been quite the windfall if Execration just ran over with the smoke and found a 100 HP Darkseer. But
they were looking for him.
Instead, they're going to smoke over into mid lane. Here comes the roll-in. Perfect timing for these two supports to show up. They can just get on top of them. Nice. Fortune's End burning them off. Flame Guard, bye-bye. Takes out the Ember Spirits. What a setup from Execration. What a bait by James.
I don't even... That's one of those situations where you kind of look at the map and you're like, oh, my supports are here. And it just happens perfectly. Like, the Ember Spirit hits 6, and he's like, I'm going in, boys. And then just instantly gets punished. Speaking of getting punished a little bit.
Steal that bounty rune, Lumic. Steal it away. Nando is now level 5. He's feeling pretty tanky, so he can kind of deal with the Ion Shell while the Oracle is away. The Darkseer hopes to be able to play Dota. Bulbika comes in with an Invis rune, has an Ion Shell on him. He's going to help clear through this stack, and if any supports come around, or maybe Nando himself show up, he may have an opportunity for initiation.
How fast does he notice? That's the question.
Yeah, I'm feeling like he kind of maybe already noticed with the stack taking some damage, but Bulbika takes a lot of cleave damage there. They're just trying to run him down. Gets the Fortune's End, doesn't actually burn out Bulbika. But, that was a win for Execration, right? Nando took most of that CS.
Yeah, he went in there and just made sure, you know, even popping God Strength, I think at this point is worth it, because XXS hasn't really been showing in lane that much anyway. So if you're not, like, running all the way over to where his jungle camps are, you're not going to need it to kill him.
A little bit of heal on agility treads for the ultimate efficiency. OP challenging James here in the mid lane. Lumic is here to be able to get the stun. Of course, he already has Remnant out. So away to the neutrals he goes.
I think it'll be a little while longer before we really start to see OP making a ton of moves around the map. The Silencer versus Ember matchup is not one we see a ton, but Silencer is just always annoying in the mid lane. You know, max level Curse, you have an Orb. Orb walking is crazy strong in lane.
Stun on the top lane, they're going to go for Q here. Looks like a pretty easy kill until wham bam! OP shows up with an Ion Shell on top of him. Lumic's going to die, and Raging Potato aborts mission. 2-2, Execration, slight lead in this laning phase so far.
Yeah, that was just Ion Shell. Didn't even have mana to cast a Flame Guard. That in conjunction with the Veil that's going to be coming up on OP. That is going to be a very, very difficult Ember Spirit to fight into.
Damn, RR. He straight up picks up the double damage rune. I guess he thought maybe the Ember Spirit was going to be rotating down through the river. Just wanted to make sure that no matter what, Ember Spirit doesn't get to fill his bottle with that.
Can definitely understand the logic. As a support, sometimes when you don't have like all the information to feel comfortable, you don't really want to sit in the river for that long when you don't have vision. It's just like, oh god, I want to get out of here.
Nothing feels worse than like trying to protect that rune, and then all of a sudden an enemy core shows up, takes it, and kills you with it.
Yeah. I hate to say how many times that's happened to me. I'm like, hey, I'm saving the rune for you. Oh god. It's happening.
Ooh, this is an interesting smoke. Execration are going to move James out of the mid lane here with a smoke next to Lumic. Now, they're going to head to bottom. Are they going to try and invade that offlane jungle where they know the Darkseer has been farming a lot? They're going to go for the high ground. Or are they just going to try and kill this Earth Spirit and turn it into a tower push? Looks like it is going to be the latter. The Sven starts pushing in, and Execration, Lumic and James make the wraparound here. Lumic's going to reveal himself. Abovka plays a hard right-hand side, is able to get away from that initiation, so it's going to just have to be Execration taking this tower.
That's still a nice movement. Getting something. Just recognizing that he had the Mask of Madness up, and it would have been pretty easy to take the tower if they get even one pick. At this point, I don't know if IG even want to try to defend this. Yeah, they're just going to back off. Too hard to defend. You need an Ember TP, I think, or something to be able to justify fighting that.
Meanwhile, the full disgusting Venomancer is out in force. He's got his level 4 Plague Wards, level 2 Poison Sting as well. Plus, this is an interesting little turn. I haven't seen this before. Straight Medallion for the Venomancer. It's pretty cool.
I guess it's good because their team inherently is not really that great at killing Roshan.
Yep.
The Medallion helps with that a little bit.
And in laning phase, if you got these wards out, it's a lot of physical damage, actually. Yep, RR is going to be caught here. Now, he can save himself a little bit of time here with a Fate's Edict. Actually puts it on OP to stop the right-click attack because he burned out all the magic damage. That was kind of cool. No matter what, he was going to die there, but he played it probably the best way you could. Burn out the Flame Guard and use the Disarm on OP afterwards.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, the Oracle is showing how useful he can be. Already once dispelling the Flame Guard on OP mid to get the kill when they were doing the counter gank, helping out James, and then once again demonstrating. That's, like, if you think about how much IG are based around the Ion Shell / Flame Guard combo for damage output, that hero provides insane amounts of just protection against that. You dispel, it hits both of them. It doesn't dispel just the Ion Shell or just the Flame Guard, it takes both of them off.
Here we go for James here, managed to land the roll and follow up with a lot of magic damage, even throwing down the Static Storm just to make sure James does die. No opportunity for a global silence. Meanwhile, somewhere in the Roshan pit, burning 1v1's a giant rock monster.
I like this. I like the build that he went and going for like the Roshan sneak. It's not something that you think about a whole bunch, because when you see someone sitting in a lane, you think, oh, well, maybe the core just transitioned into the jungle because he wants other heroes to get EXP.
Yeah.
But it's like a 1-2 punch, because not only is that still happening, he's getting an objective.
Surprise!
And it's really hard to anticipate Roshans like that if you're not like an Ursa or something.
Execration. I mean, it's not the biggest loss in the world. It's actually kind of the economical benefit from IG that hurts a little bit more than perhaps the Aegis. We'll see what they really do with an Aegis on Troll, because a lot of times that hero isn't really forcing a whole lot of engagements in this 5-minute window, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know what he's going to do with it. I think he's just going to farm, but I think it's more about just getting something done on the map while your team is still being efficient elsewhere, like soaking EXP and, you know, getting to those level 6s.
And it denies Roshan away from Execration for 10 minutes, especially since they are going to be reaching their peak here, or one of their like early mid-game peaks with this Venomancer, where he kind of pressures you constantly. He starts taking away these towers, especially with this this Medallion of Courage. And they could easily take Roshan. Would be a little bit slow, but they could take it with the wards.
Yeah, it would definitely be slow. But I like Raging Potato going back for the full Hood of Defiance, recognizing that the majority of the output of damage on IG is going to be based in magic and not right-click until later, once Burning has some farm. And for now, just being like, I just want to exist. That's all he wants to do.
A scan making Raging Potato feel a little bit more comfortable with his position as he pushes deeper and deeper into the tower. It's actually a wraparound from IG through the south side. as they look to take mid tower in exchange for top falling, but they want to be able to get a kill with it. So the roll in from Bobica comes in, he misses the roll, but he managed to hit the silence, follow-up stun with OP there. It's a pretty easy kill. So boom, just like that, 4 heroes on top of mid tower. Even if Execration are happy with taking that tier 1 tower, they're going to be a little bit sad if they lose their mid one. That's why they're already TPing back. And it was actually going to pop his head out from the trees, managed to get a stun onto OP, the kick, and a jump away to the Remnant. They protect their tower, but they don't get any kills.
I think it's alright. I mean, they took the tier 1 of the safe lane of IG. They defend their own tower. And they're gonna, even though he popped God Strength like right away, it seemed a little bit silly, but he has an Ancient stack, so it's not even as if he's misused the spell. Still gets some value out of popping the ulti there. Even gonna get the Shrine to boot. So still, I think that Execration are kind of hitting all the points that they need to hit. And IG, I kind of thought that they would be able to accomplish a bit more with their hero combination. Did Q really not see him? He was standing like real close.
Yeah, Lumix saw Q, that's for sure.
He might have been looking at somewhere else on the map.
Yeah. Full-out pipe coming in very soon for Raging Potato, plus having his level 2 Poison Nova in due time. They haven't really utilized the silencer just yet, but with the Force Staff, I think that's one of the first timings that you feel kind of comfortable going to a team fight with this hero. There's definitely nothing that says Execration need to force anything, though, because they do have the Sven, and he's farming up fantastically, sitting at 8k net worth top of the board.
The one, I guess, little bit of concern that I have for the Sven is that he's gone for the Blink Mask of Madness Yasha, but he's not anywhere near the BKB. And if you do get Fate's Edict during a fight to protect you, you are dealing 0 damage.
Yeah.
So that's one thing, I guess, where it could be a little bit difficult for him. And plus there's other stuff like Whirling Axes that can blind you. There's a lot of disable. You're putting a lot of eggs in your initiation basket if you're going this build, or you're just looking to farm more than anything else.
That's what he's been doing a lot of so far. Another Ancient stack being taken by him while Raging Potato plays the Hermit life here in the top lane. Just imagine Venomancer turning this into just a big swamp.
That's what he does, man.
Yeah.
He goes around, makes everything poisonous.
No one wants to live there. That's why IG aren't anywhere near the top lane. Now, Raging Potato actually TPs into the bottom lane. Surprised as IG overwhelm him with just sheer numbers. And they're going to have to cancel that TP from the Sand King. They're still going to try and fight, it looks like. With 4-man smoke over to the side, they're going to be able to burn off OP. Global Silence not being used there by James. Holds on to it for now. They do have to deal with an Aegis burning, though. So they're trying to force this fight so heavily. The Global Silence goes down, but the Epicenter doesn't latch. The Global Silence just a little bit tad too late. Now the backing back. Lumen's going to get caught, and Nando being dealt with by burning. Jumps on top of him, gets at least one bash. They threw down the False Promise onto Lumic of all heroes, and he does get the full heal out. The kick is going to miss, and IG will turn back to that tier 2. Demolished in ruins, 2-7 IG take a 3k gold lead now.
I'm really surprised that Execration decided to go for that even after their Venomancer died without having gotten the ult off. Like, if he ulted 3 or 4 people before he died, then yeah, it kind of makes sense, right? Because they're all poison over, they're going to be taking damage. I could justify going in a 4v5 if that many heroes got hit by the ulti, but
yeah,
he just died before he got to do anything. So then you're just actively taking a 4v5 against a team that has a mech on their Darkseer. They have the Static Storm available.
And an Aegis.
And, well, they had an Aegis, yeah.
Burning was just, like, in that situation, once the fight kind of progressed forward 2 seconds in, like, you saw Burning just furiously go on the front lines. Because he's like, you're going to have to go through me to get to my team, and I've got an extra life, so I don't know what you guys think.
And Nando really just needs the BKB. That's the important part. I mean, sure, popping the False Promise on the Sand King probably didn't help, but at the same time, we talked about it like seconds before the fight broke out, how hard it is for the Sven to hit people if he doesn't have that item in his game.
Lumic got caught. Oh man, he's so close to his Blink Dagger too, but he's stuck against an Ion Shell with no mana for Burrow Strike, so great call by IG. No BKB, no Blink Dagger, no way for Execration to fight right now.
Yeah, IG aren't messing around this game. And the last game that we watched, it felt a little bit weird. Like maybe IG were kind of out of sorts, not playing the fights as well as you would expect. But this time around, they are all business.
They most certainly are. I love the 12% evasion on Darkseer in some of these situations, and this is one of the great ones.
Feels so good. I'd say most of the time the cast range just doesn't really feel worth it.
Yeah. You really have to have, I think, some sick combinations to go for the cast range.
Yeah, if you're getting like the early blink into like some wombo combo, I could see it.
Yeah. James chilling out here on the side. It's actually Execration would look a little bit out of sorts here. That last initiative, like forcing the 4 versus 5 is kind of questionable. Oh, forced that blink forward. Q will take the 3 shot. Up at top lane, Rage Potato's going to be gone on by OP. Forces, I guess, hoping to be able to force rotations or something. Execration is still going to go for this mid lane push, but they do have the heroes here. Global Sounds goes down. Nando's actually just trying to run away, but Burning's right on top of him. He gets a little bit lucky. He might actually be able to chase down this hero, but James goes for Bobica, unable to take that kill. Disarm onto Burning, but he needs RR. Can't really protect himself unless he's forced to use False Promise. There goes the Nova from Rage Potato, just clipping XXS, but it might be enough for them to be able to get the kill. Force that forward from James, couple right clicks, gets that one, but now he's going to be slowed down, but Bobica managed to get the roll in. Here comes a kick, and that is it. Well, maybe not. Q is going to be able to pull back RR. Rage Potato's actually going back for his support. Don't do the save a friend syndrome. RR is definitely dead, and Rage Potato might be as well. He gets the Stormhammer stun from the Sven to be able to help him out, but Burning so damn fast. Here comes the epicenter. They need the stun down. They get it onto Burning just in time. RR is somehow still alive because of the false promise. Burning not gonna be able to let Lumic escape from this one, and neither is Raging Potato. He hides in the side, puts down a ward, best he can, but in the end, Execration, again, questionable on the decision-making of when they should team fight. It feels like they're playing a different lineup. You know, they're playing a lineup that doesn't really want to fight right now until they hit these timings, but they're acting like they can.
I feel the same way. Just fighting into the strongest point of IG's draft. Like prior to BKBs, sure, you got the pipe, you got the medallion out on the Venomancer, but again, it's not a 5 versus 5 that we're watching. It's heroes die, and then more of Execration kind of funnel in. And the fight stretches out, and their heroes, they think that they feel strong enough to take these engagements, but it's only going to work if you are together.
Yeah.
And they haven't really had that one fight where everyone is as 5, and they get a good blink initiation, and the Poison Nova hits more than one hero. Like, think about that. We haven't seen a Poison Nova hit more than one hero in a 21-minute game. Like,
yeah.
that cannot happen, and you still expect to win these fights.
It's 4-12. Invictus Gaming leading a 6K. About the same in experience as well. This Venomancer has gotten a decent amount of farm, but he was the 1v1. It's James who's beginning to fall behind as that mid-silencer. Now he's going back for the Hand of Midas because he desperately needs it. A little bit of a catch-up, and honestly it seems like there's no other way for Execration to win this game early. It's definitely going late, in my mind, if Execration pull out a win.
I think that there's still an opportunity or two for them to take a mid-game fight, as long as they just coordinate it properly. Yeah. All the fights that I've seen so far this game have been very chaotic. It's always them coming in one at a time, and IG are just the more structured unit. They always are together, they're always getting the proper initiation, saving the people who need to be saved. Tower's gonna get denied here by Raging Potato, but another smoke comes in from IG.
They had this idea to wrap deep in through the jungle, even going into the offlane jungle area, but they were delayed. A little bit of detour trying to grab Nando, but he had a pretty quick read of the situation. So many heroes off map. He did not feel comfortable pushing that, so showed himself, blinked to the trees, TP'd out. Those are the kind of really good TP out plays, you know, where you're doing something that's fast enough that you know it's going to force attention from the enemy team, but you're also fast enough to be able to get out when they do make that rotation.
Oh, this is really good for Execration.
Yeah,
Fresh BKB.
Haste rune up with a Poison Nova. They're going to be able to hit multiple heroes there with the BKB onto Nando. He's not going to be stopping until a bash comes in for Burning, but the epicenter's there. Yule Scepter actually stops that channel, and Nando's actually getting beaten apart by Burning. He man fights it up and forces the Sven away somehow. They're trying to catch these extra heroes like Bobica, who is going to be nailed by the Stormhammer, but after the roll ends. So they've only taken the Darkseer and the Disruptor when they are hoping to be able to kill at least one more hero.
God, that looked like such a good timing for Execration. They had great positioning on the high ground, and Burning just completely stopped Nando from doing anything. They got their BKBs at the same time. So as soon as he goes in, Burning pops his own BKB, just starts hitting away, gets 2 bashes, stops Nando from doing anything during his BKB duration and just casually walks it off. That is so unfortunate.
The amount of damage he did. Did Nando pop Warcry in that fight?
I think he had the medallion used on him by Raging Potato. I think he probably Warcried when he jumped in originally, but I think it probably wore off during Burning's onslaught of right clicks.
Yeah, because I was very surprised at how much damage he was taking, because Mask of Madness may decrease your armor, but Warcry more than makes up for it.
Right.
So I was very surprised when it's the Sven forced away from the Troll at this point in the game.
Well, maybe next time Execration can get the jump into a different hero that's a little bit easier to take down than XXS. Like Guardian Grease Darkseer is not what I would call an easy target.
Boca, self-heals. Looks like he's trying to slow down Nando. Now, he knows there's no way he's going to be able to get this kill by himself, but if he can stall Nando enough for Bernie to get here, he might be able to get him. He actually throws down the ultimate just at a hope at being able to stop the blink, but the BKB protecting against that magic damage does allow Nando to get to the trees.
Honestly, making him pop a BKB is still way worth it.
Yes.
Like, I will commit a Magnetize to making that Sven pop BKB every day of the week. Because the later the game goes, Sven, without a 10-second BKB against this many disables, and this much magical damage, ugh, that is not a late game that I want to play.
He's not going to be very happy at all. Chol is even going to be able to pick up a Diffusal Blade pretty soon here. That'll help cut the Warcry tankiness down for the Sven, especially if that BKB is out. We're going to have a 4-man smoke up while Q, the old Disruptor, he'll push out mid. OP's actually going to show himself and help push mid in even faster. They look to Roshan, but Ward's already sitting there, so they're going to have to actually find a pick here with the 3 of them. Double ion shells up, so they could absolutely do it, but this part's going to be a little bit difficult. They got to go for Nando. Nando does not have the BKB, but the global silence is there. They need a bash, though. They got the vacuum and a bash going in. Nando's just not going to make it out of here. He is dead, and IG starts setting up for Roche.
I don't think there's really anything that Execration can do about it. I mean, they could maybe send Raging Potato in for like this kind of suicide poison Nova mission and hope that it deters them, but that's under the assumption that you're hitting a lot of heroes. He might just die if he gets Thunderstruck here.
Yeah, he might just get like Static Storm. Might not be able to get anything off here as they start approaching him. There goes that Static Storm and the ultimate used by Troll. But there's a false promise from RR, protecting against all the magic damage and full-on healing him up, especially with that Shrine. So they do manage to scare away from Roshan, but it costs them the buyback onto Nando. Nando just jumped straight into the pit with God's Strength, but it's not like Roshan was actually that low. It's not like this is going to be a quick kill. And IG will have their opportunity for rebuttal here, especially with the Darkseer coming in. He's got his vacuum into the wall. Nope, he just threw down a 3-man vacuum. No wall required just yet. They're still trying to finish up Roshan, though. Bobka cleans on right on through the pit to the other side, goes straight for James. Bernie's coming in as well, but the force stab up to the high ground. James says he has it, but Nando is able to snatch up the Aegis. They might have been able to get the kill on a Roshan, but it's the extra life that's more important for Execration. So now they look for the extra kills. Bobka somehow managed to roll himself onto the cliff, but he'll be okay, undetected by Execration. Will back away. Pretty happy with just being able to get the Aegis, especially after what looked kind of a questionable buyback.
He got both, man. He got the cheese, too.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Nice.
IG got the kill on Roshan. Yeah, IG got the kill on Roche, but Nando walks out of the pit with the spoils. Very fortunate for Execration. Otherwise, that buyback would have been a disaster. That could have been like enough momentum for IG to just straight up go end the game. Like, that's how big of a deal that would have been for him to commit like that. Because who knows, if they die during the team fight as well, and it's a dieback on the Sven, Nando doesn't really have a way.
Oh, 2-man Bro Strike, that's going to help save James. Force staffs a little bit farther, throws out some spells, but I think he knew there's no escape from OP's Ember Spirit.
Yeah, this is rough. Rough game for the Silencer. I think they had something different in mind for how much he was going to be able to accomplish against like the Ember, for example.
Yeah.
But in this type of game, once the Ember gets to this point, he's going to have Lincolns and Yule soon. You just can't really do much to him unless you have like a Hex. And even then, you need like to break the Lincolns and then Hex him.
A scan, but soon forgotten. Execration to get the TP out on Nando. So maybe, very soon, they can go for a push of their own. Raging Potato's actually going to run into Burning. Oh no, that's not the bounty rune you wanted. Raging Potato gets trapped in by Burning and whopped. Good lord.
I guess my question is, does he even really need Diffusal? He could probably just buy something like MKB, right? And just like crush him through armor anyway?
Yeah, I mean, I really like Diffusal Blade against the Warcry. I think it just lets you finish heroes so fast.
It's definitely great, but I think at the same time he's got the movement speed talent as well. He's gonna finish up the Diffusal, but I think when you have S and Y with movement speed, with Mask of Madness and MKB, it doesn't matter how much armor you have. You just die.
Yeah.
Because MKB mini bashes obviously are magic damage anyway. But yeah, Diffusal good for obvious reasons. Let's see. Anything else of importance coming out on IG soon? I mean, they're all really farmed at this point because they've been doing very well inside of the fights most of the time. And it doesn't look like Execration are going to be able to really utilize this Aegis on Nando. It's really big to take it away from IG, but at the same time, you need to also be able to deal some kind of damage, make them scared, pressure in some meaningful way, and we haven't really seen that yet.
Taking a look at the net worth, we've got almost an 8K gold lead for IG. Again, experience and gold kind of neck and neck there. We've got a lot of farms spread around to these heroes as well.
It's like a Christmas tree looking at the net worth.
Yeah. Red and green. The big leader obviously being Burning. He's up by 2,000 gold ahead of the Sven. And then the Ember Spirit, 3,800 ahead of a Silencer.
Yeah, he's ahead of net worth of a Sven. Like, any hero with built-in cleave typically wants to be at the top of the net worth chart.
Yeah.
And when you're not, kind of feels bad.
Certainly does, especially since Troll. I always refer to him as like the penultimate late game hero, just because maybe Spectre's a little bit better for the 5-man aspect, but nobody really beats Troll late game in the 1v1, right?
Yeah, you can't move. Like, you get enough attack speed and you're just dead, because you can't control your character. Believe it or not, Cat, when you can't do anything, it's pretty hard to win.
Well, I guess that's where winning by existing is the play, right? So we said Venomancer does. What does Venomancer do for us now, though, at 30 minutes plus?
He's got a Solar Crest. I mean, it doesn't sound like a huge deal, but honestly, with as fast as Burning hits, if you can Solar Crest your Sven and he gets the Warcry off during BKB, then he's probably not going to die to the right clicks. Because he'll have so much armor. He'll have evasion on top of it. He's even going for the Assault Cuirass.
And they'll have Guardian Greaves pretty soon on the Venomancer as well, which will be an additional source of armor.
Yeah.
Lower HP.
Sven's just always that hero where no matter how far behind you feel, one good God Strength into a couple of autos. It's just a great equalizer, you know?
Raging Potato. Chase down in the trees. No shenanigans here, Raging Potato. You will die. Gets off the Poison Nova, but Execration are far too far away to actually take advantage of that.
I like how IG are feeling so confident that XXS didn't even go for a pipe. He just bought a 4-staff.
Yeah. Just kite this Sven around. All be good. All be gravy, baby. 7-16, 32 minutes in. Bulbacup up, pops out right next to James. Gets the Yule Scepter, though, before James could react. The Storm Hammer will still catch him. And, well, unless Burning can save him with a bash, unable to do so, the man fight begins. And Burning is tearing that ass up. Burning takes down Nando. Gonna go next for James. Gets the Diffusal Blade. Slow down a little bit of Hurricane back action, but it won't make a damn difference, James. You're dead, and Execration have lost 3 just to kill an Earth Spirit. Or 2, rather.
That was a very unfortunate situation there for Execration, like losing Raging Potato on one side of the map, so obviously your other 2 heroes feel, you know, a little bit safer. Okay, they just killed this guy with like 4 heroes bottom. What could possibly go? Oh, okay, we're dead anyway.
What does the Silencer do to become a core again? Because,
dude, I don't know. I really don't know.
He doesn't really do anything.
It seemed like really good in the lane, and the longer the game goes, he needs someone to hold people still for an extended period of time, and he also needs a lot of protection during the fights, because he's not naturally mobile, right? He's just kind of like, he's a worse sniper. That's how I would describe Silencer in this game. But he can't stay as far away from the team fights as a sniper can.
And his big game changer, which is Global Silence, we haven't really seen used successfully. You know, there was that one fight at bottom lane where he used it after the Epicenter got canceled. Okay, and there's an Oracle then.
Yeah, RR was just a little bit too far up. He got the Static Storm treatment. And magnetize as well.
Loki about to get the full magic damage, has the Maelstrom up.
Yeah, this is getting a little bit out of hand.
Yeah, butterfly burning is going to make things real difficult for Nando.
As if it wasn't already difficult enough. But this is another thing, too, about the Sven builds nowadays, is that you don't naturally make MKB that often. Because you fill your inventory with this other stuff. You have your Mask of Madness, your Blink Dagger, all these mid-range cost items. And then you have to start replacing stuff. And because you replace one of the earlier items that you buy normally, like a Mask of Madness or whatever, you lose a ton of attack speed. So even though you're getting True Strike, you're sacrificing a ton of, I guess, theoretical DPS by losing that amount of attack speed. And it just feels really awkward to transition out of it.
The Assault Cuirass is finished. So that is a very big boost in both offense and defense for him against the Troll. Don't think it's still enough for him to actually stand toe-to-toe, especially with Burning picking up that butterfly. But,
no one toe-to-toes that hero with these items. Like, you need like a Chronosphere or something to kill him. Like something that locks him down for an extended period.
So they got to find a way to just be able to kite him around, but that only happens if they get the initiation, if they actually get that initial stun on the Troll and hopefully a couple other heroes before the BKBs are used.
I mean, you could just be Moogie from earlier and just never miss.
That's true.
Like, just a whole game and never missed a single attack. Didn't even need an MKB.
But how do you do that, Draskell? You just believe in yourself really
hard? You gotta
hard?
be way better than we are at Dota. Like, way better.
I am so skilled at Dota that I beat out the RNG system.
I will never be that player. Oh, they hit the scan. They're going straight in.
Yeah, Bobiko's just going to roll on out because he has the Ult Scepter to be able to set up his team for the kill. BKB is actually going to be popped by Burning just to ensure that he actually gets the kill without interruption. And Nando's actually slowed down here mid lane by the Ember Spirit, but nothing's going to come of it.
Those types of BKBs, I think, are worth it when you just have so little information. Like, they have one ward on the, or I guess two now, they just placed another one. But the one inside the jungle doesn't really see anything when they jump to Raging Potato. Yeah. So Burning pops the BKB in anticipation of, okay, maybe they're here and they're going to help him.
Yeah, if he gets burrow struck and the rest of his team gets global silenced, then who knows what happens from there.
Yeah. Now Execration just kind of wandering around, trying to get whatever kind of farm they can off the map. Nando is going to be going for the MKB choice. He kind of has to.
James is going for the Scythe of Ice.
And Roshan is just going to get eaten alive here by Burning and crew. Cheese number 2.
They didn't even have the Solar Crest.
Yeah, they don't even need it.
So that'll be the Aegis. And, oh, he broke apart the Mask of Madness for Butterfly.
Yep.
Did not notice that.
Yep. That's why the item is so OP. No recipe, can disassemble. Can go Satanic Butterfly late game.
And the push begins from Invictus Gaming. Should be an uncontested Tier 2 demolishing. And that's the last outer tower of Execrations. So very rapidly, Invictus Gaming are going to start closing off this map. Next step is taking that Tier 3, backing up, killing the shrines. And then the ultimate high ground put.
That's one thing I suppose you could say about IG's lineup that it's not amazing at is physically hitting the Tier 3. But when you are as far ahead as they are, even a bad team at hitting towers can still hit the tower.
Just troll. Do the business, even if every one of his allies can't, because he's 5,000 ahead of the Sven.
Yeah, he's freaking rich.
That is one full item.
He's also about to hit 25.
Yeah, that's a great pickup. Whirling Axes, do you go for that here?
Yeah, I think so. I think the biggest threat you always are under is the Sven. So if you can, like, permanently, well, not permanently, but close to permanently have that debuff on, it's really, really good. And if you need the extra magic resistance, you just yell at your Darkseer to buy a pipe, since he doesn't have one yet.
That is the talent he chooses.
I think there's very few games where the magic resistance is better than the Whirling Axe cooldown. Because it's not even just about like the ability to man fight, it's also about you being able to push the wave faster. Because Troll he's not the best wave clear hero. So having the 5-second cooldown Whirling Axes is really, really beneficial for that.
Yeah, Absolutely. We're getting into some quite late game scenarios here. The way this game is shaping up. IG are either going to close this out with the next push, take a lane of Rax, or maybe even end the game, or Execration's going to hold, and we're going to have to look towards super late game. We'll talk about that soon, because right now...
Dude, Raging Potato is fearless.
Dude,
like, he is always in the front, like outside of the base, in the side lane, with no one on the map. Like, this guy, he has never known fear in his life.
Yeah, they saw the troll, and they just kind of like... were daring him to go on the Venomancer right here.
I mean, he has a Force Staff, so if they did jump him and he was fast enough, he'd be able to force the high ground. But 1600 health goes real fast at this stage in the game. He is not that tanky.
Our Spirit attempts an initiation here. Might be able to still get it. Oh, Force Staff still clipped there. RR does have the Glimmer Cape, though. The Force back. Global Silence is not going to save Lumic, but a Force Staff will. False Promise is actually going to be used there on the Sand King. Just a quick defensive measure. IG are very happy with that engagement. I don't think they use anything important.
They're just gonna go kill the Shrine, I think.
Yeah. Just force...
Oh, no, wait. They didn't kill the tier 3. Never mind. Why did I think the Shrine was available?
I was like, Drasco, you high?
Wait a
I don't
minute. I was
think
like...
they've touched a tier 3 yet.
Yeah, I was... For some reason, I just, like, thought we were in a different patch.
Just all the tier 2... Man, what a patch that was. You remember the Baby Knight roster? They're under Cloud9 at that time?
Wasn't it old Danish Bears or something?
Yeah, yeah. And they would just like, they would pick these lineups and they would just go 5-man systematically. Tier 1, Tier 2, back up. Tier 1, Tier 2, back up. Tier 1, Tier 2, and then, oh, Shrines are open. And then they would just kind of control the game for a while and try to end it.
Yeah, Shrines were kind of... If you were losing the game, Shrines were useless back then.
Yeah.
Because they just bore extra gold for the enemy team because you lost all your tier 2s. Nowadays, though, gotta hit that tier 3 tower.
MKB is super close. There's another Ember Spirit has picked up cooldown reduction. I don't know about you, Draskell.
Raging
Potato's in trouble.
I feel like I've seen this one before, Kev.
Yeah, a couple times.
It's so hard, though, because like Nando wants to stay out on the map, but his TP's on cooldown, so he's being forced to run back to base. This is really, really bad for a Sven player to have to just walk back to base and sit there and wait. When you know that your Veno doesn't even have buyback, the ward's also going to spot him if he walks to the low ground. I'm pretty sure they're just waiting it out. Boboka was kind of sitting there like...
Boboka really wanted to get this
he's just delaying
on Nando, but he's just stalling up. The tier 3 abuse is happening, and Nando really can't get there to stop it. So tier 3 down. They've successfully stalled him for like 15 seconds, and Burning gets a tier 3 and a decent amount of damage onto Melee Rax here. Now OP will try and create more space for him, diving forward with the Shivas, slowing down some of these heroes, and just like that, the Melee Rax is gone, and Execration have yet to find their opening for an initiation to actually take a fight. IG are just kind of whomping on them.
Well, they're just building such a huge lead that engaging without your Venom feels really difficult right now.
Yeah. Especially with the MKB still not there for Nando. It's gonna have it now, though, so they have a chance. A small one, but it is a chance to be able to kill a troll.
If he can get the jump and there's a global on top of it, obviously the Darkseer will still be able to act, but you assume that the BKB is going to be there from Nando. There is a definite possibility that they can kill Burning. But if they don't, and he finishes up his Satanic, and he pops it and just heals back to full, game is hard.
Game might just be over.
Well, they do have a Hex as well. This could be the blink stun into Hex, into global with the Sven killing. Like, that's the thing, right? Once you have Hex out on the field and the MKB's done on a hero like Sven who has the potential for such high damage, you can still kill the troll. It's just, you know, it's really hard. Because he's got 6 slots. Like, he's full. All he needs right now is bots and a Moonshard.
Anything is possible.
Oh, they're even giving him the cheese.
But so IG, look at OP. Every single time, he's just diving forward, trying to stop blinks, trying to stop any form of initiation. They're going to go into Burning now with a Burrow Strike and actually aggressively force tap him in. They're going to be able to get the side device, and Nando's right there, but he managed to get the cheese off. Now he has the opportunity to pop his Satanic, but decides against fighting. IG will back away.
God, that was so close. If he didn't have cheese, he was dead.
That was such a great play from James. The aggressive force staff, or something. Is that James? No, that wasn't, because he has a hurricane pike. Who force staff? Looks like Racing
Sand
Potato.
King, I think.
Oh,
Sand
yeah,
King
that
or
could
the
be.
Veno, or one of the two forced them in. But yeah, that's kind of what I was saying. Like the Hex into Blink BKB Sven is how they kill him. But it's...
Well, they get the Scythe on OP here. Another aggressive force staff, putting OP in a dangerous position. Still the back in with a combination of the Air Spirit. And here comes Burning. Gets the Yule Scepter onto him, though. That'll help delay things quite a bit. But James is still pulled back into his doom, and they don't have buybacks. So that is going to be it for Execration.
Well,
The epic hold.
they came real close. Like, if they killed Burning there, they probably back off. They buy themselves a little bit more time. Sure, it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to win, but it would have given them some breathing room.
Yeah.
That cheese trade ended up working out huge. Burning didn't even have boots in his inventory when they were doing that original push, but congratulations to IG. They tie up the series 1-1. Still big ups to Execration for being able to take that first game. It went from, looks like IG's going to win, to, oh god, what's happening, to Execration win the game in about 5 minutes.
Yep.
So if you didn't see that one, highly recommended if you're an Execration fan. This time around, though, IG proved to be the superior squad.
Execration, you know that's the third game that they've won in their series where they won the first game and then lost the second game. It seems like, though, the only time they win is that first game in a series.
I mean, hey, as long as you're not bottom of the group,
That's all that matters.
for now, I mean, you got to be happy with what you can get. So I think that Execration today, they took games off of some really powerful teams. And if nothing else, that has to be some kind of confidence booster, because when you get to that main stage, you got to have confidence in your play style.